Moving up and down again, there's no discharge in the war.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Shepherd's Pie. I'm David.
And I'm Tommy.
We have too much pent-up, not aggression, theory casting,
Oh, yeah.
brainstorming.
Fact.
There's just too much nonsense going on in the world for us to keep
We are
up
being
with.
assaulted. It's pure assault, really. We're getting absolutely handled right now from the cabal from every single angle.
Right.
Just full spectrum assault from all sides. Aliens, viruses, freaking wars and rumors of wars. It's going crazy right now.
It seems like a desperate onslaught of chaos from the side of darkness. Like, yeah, we've been gone for a month, so we're trying to play catch up. Like, that's a little bit on us. But also, just within the past, like, not even month, last couple of years, it's just been one thing after another. Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, non-stop. And every time it seems like there'd be a moment of reprieve, or maybe we can focus on this one thing and deal with it. No. Next thing, next thing, next thing. It's non-stop.
Endless. It's seemingly endless, and I think it's kind of having an opposite effect that it appeared it was having for a little bit. People were starting to wake up like en masse.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like a lot of people started going hard into the skeptical side of things. And now, with just how much is actually happening, especially as of lately, there's a lot of like doomsday scenario stuff popping off right now. And when doomsday scenarios start really flying, people start getting a little quiet because it makes you confront some things, and people don't like to confront many things, especially spiritually. So what do? They shut down.
Revert.
They hide.
So,
They
I mean,
get paralyzed.
you and I have been in this brain space since childhood, you know, so we've
Yeah.
gone through the roller coaster of, deep down the rabbit hole, existential threat and dread about what you've learned and what you know, and then this, like, drive and urge to share it with everybody, and then nobody wants to hear it. You can't talk about it anywhere. You're looked at like you're crazy, so then you get upset and even more existential, defeated, and you either turn to something wicked or you shut down and you forget. And like, that's never the right way, because actually going down that rabbit hole leads you to God. Like,
Yeah.
all these
At the end of it.
all these rabbit holes lead to God. So, like, if you don't keep searching and you revert to your old ways, you kind of are like turning your back on God a little bit. You're, even if not entirely, you are decreasing the strength of the relationship. Like, there's a lot to be had from putting your whole life and energy into learning and understanding God's will for the world. You know, like, it's kind of where I've been at for a while, where, you know, I see this chaos and disorder and atrocities in the world.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it is atrocitus, but when looked at through a spiritual lens, somebody that follows God, the Lord Jesus Christ, it makes sense. It is clear as to why the things are the way they are. Like,
Yeah, you get the why.
evil does exist, and like I said a moment ago, it is like desperately trying to exist, trying to win, trying to exert its power and dominance over the world, almost as if we're coming up on the end times. They know they're running out of time, so they're trying even harder and harder to get the things done. And, like, yes, all these things that are happening are terrible, but it does put a little bit of joy in my soul to know that, like, they're scared, they're panicking, they know their time is coming, and I know their time is coming, and they're going to suffer for eternity. And I can sleep well knowing that. Like, everything that happens to us and everybody else here on this planet, like, It's a speck in eternity. And I don't think that, like, if you fail during your time here, you're just going to hell forever. I think everybody has multiple chances to redeem their souls in the eyes of God. God gives multiple chances. This isn't it. After this, I think you will be privy to more knowledge, more of the history, more of the future, more of what is, and then you can then make a better decision with your soul to go towards God or not. And if you still choose to not go towards God, that's your own choice. Like, people choose all around the world to not follow God. And that's the beauty of free will. You know, we don't have to follow God. He's not going to force you to follow him. But if you're not going to follow him, you might suffer.
Suffering is going to be a part of the game anyway, but it's like, does your suffering have purpose, or is it as a result of your unwillingness to kind of put some pieces together, put some critical pieces together for yourself and for the order of things?
Right. I would really recommend trying to first read and then try to grasp and understand the book of Job. Understand what happened to him, why it happened. Yeah. Like, realize that sort of thing, like, suffering isn't just for the wicked. The good can suffer too. And the suffering doesn't have to lead you away from God or make you lose your faith. It should invigorate your faith to know that, like, God is putting you through trials because he has a plan for you. Like, he has something in store for you.
It's a lot easier said than done, but Job was one heck of a man.
Yeah.
He was a sturdy individual before the whole Satan pact with God to test Job's faith. And I mean, it is a great thing, though, once you're able to kind of see things that way, that things, it's part of a victim mentality, right? There's a victim mentality where things happen to me. Yeah. They're happening to me. Mm-hmm. Why me? Poor me. But when you start saying things are happening for me,
right?
Things are happening because I'm being honed, because I'm being tested, because there's an opportunity for growth at the end of this. There's change at the end of this. It totally rewires how you handle it. Not just how you handle it, but also how you feel, right? You're going to feel a lot better, too. You're not going to feel so freaking down in the dumps all the time.
This idea of the victimhood, it is pervasive. It's too pervasive. Everybody wants to be a victim for some reason. And when you see yourself as a victim, then you start to see others as privileged or prosecutors. You know, like, those are the people that are dominating over the victims. Those are the people that are at fault. Well, the way I see it is everybody's a victim, really. Sin and evil are pervasive. Every human being is victim to sin. We all have to, essentially. Like, we can't avoid it. It's inevitable, essentially. So, you know, we're all privileged in that Jesus Christ died for our sins. And
absolutely,
through him, we can be cleansed and spend eternity with him. But also, we're all victims because we have to live with that. And just because one person might have what you consider to be a better life doesn't mean that they don't have their own struggles and their own suffering and their own, like, wicked evils that they got to deal with. And
their own battles.
Right. And that is to say that the person that is suffering and starving and destitute and surrounded by death and destruction, they might be the most blessed person on the planet because they could be the closest to the Lord. And you would never know. You would never know. Because your view of the world is so twisted by this physicality of it. You know, you need the money, you need the status, you need the house, you need the food. Why? Why do we need any of that? All we really need is the Lord. The Lord provides. And if the Lord decides you're going to starve and die, that was the Lord's plan for you. Like, accept it. Love the Lord. It's a weird thing to hear. It's a hard thing to say. Like, it doesn't really make sense. I feel like it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. Like, faith in the Lord
thing
gets you
that-
through all the most terrible things that could possibly be.
I think that the way you put that with, like, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. That there's a reason for that. You know, we're as much as we are spiritual, we do have a soul, or at least I believe we do, and a lot of people do too. It kind of seems evident to me, but some people out there don't put the pieces together for that necessarily or believe it. But we are also physical. So there's this, we don't have the clearance. We don't have God's eye, right? We're sitting here in the world, spiritual beings that have, you know, a higher calling, a higher vibration, but we're sitting down in the mud, and it's hard to see that higher view.
Right.
And it creates a lot of dissonance in a person. It makes you question it, but that's why it's called faith. I think that the reason it's called faith is because sometimes you're not going to know the answers, and you just kind of have to have trust and faith in it.
Yeah.
And usually it's the people that are kind of going through life, and I've noticed this in my own life too, where I question a lot of things. My name's Tommy. My name's Thomas, and I kind of identify heavily with like a doubting Thomas type of being, because doubting Thomas, what did he do? He just had questions. You know, he always wanted to know what the heck was going on and thought very logically.
Who is
And when
doubting
you're hanging out
Thomas? Is that a
around-
person? Is that something we
Yeah.
should know? Is that a
I
reference?
think he's a disciple.
Really?
Yeah.
Shame on me
Yeah.
then.
He's a disciple, and so he would always ask questions. He's always asking questions and thinking logically, and Jesus is just like, follow me and do this thing. And he would say things that all of them, not even just Thomas, would be like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why aren't we doing something else? Why are we going to let you die? Like, what's going on? And Jesus couldn't really tell him. It's just like, have faith in me, follow me. That's what you got to do.
Yep.
And that's kind of what I've been noticing is it creates a lot of stress. And if you follow that instead of following Jesus or the Holy Spirit or just your best intuition, the gut feelings, the things that you know you should be doing. If instead you start going with your head and this logic and this doubting, it leads you to a lot more stressful situations, leads you into places that you don't want to be, places that you don't really belong. You belong somewhere else. But when you see other people out there who just kind of lean into it heavy, they don't really think as much. They kind of act more.
Yeah.
And they act more on maybe more solid principles, or maybe they're not even as solid of principles that are guided by God, but they're just acting on a certain like set of either their own morality or learned behavior.
Even
They
if
end up in
follow.
pretty cool places, right? Like they kind of end up doing some stuff that
Yeah.
it's like, nice. That's something completely original that I don't know if I would have ended up there because I think too much. You just went for it and you got it because that's all you were going to do.
Even people that follow God still struggle to hear this as an answer. Like
Yeah.
they don't like this answer. And I think part of being here on this planet is that we're not privileged to some of the knowledge to these greater questions that we have. I don't know where it is in the Bible, forgive me, but my mom told me when I was a kid that it says somewhere in there that mankind would never understand what heaven is. We would never know what heaven actually is. So
Makes sense.
when I was a kid, that made me realize that anything anybody ever came up with was wrong. If we could imagine it, we were wrong, because we would never be able to imagine it. We would never be able to guess it or come up with it or understand it. So anything that we could understand, that's not heaven. It must be greater than that. And I think that way about God, and I think that way about demons, and I think that way about this plane of existence that we live in. And I think we're just not privileged to those things. So if you can let go of trying to analyze and understand and put it all into little boxes and categorize it, just put your faith in God that it's all going to be taken care of. God does have a plan. This eternity of craziness going on, and that this eternity of craziness going on here on this planet Earth that we live in, it's all part of a greater machination that we are never going to understand. So don't try to. Just put your faith in God. Feel blessed no matter what's happening, because you know the Lord, and he's looking after you, and he loves you, and he's got a plan for you. That's all.
Heck yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. I think there's plenty of merit for that, really, because a lot of times when you're a kid too, you're going through like school. You don't want to go to school, right? And I know that school, we have our own thoughts on that as shepherd's pie. We've talked about academia.
Yeah.
But if you can kind of just use it as a little bit of a metaphor, it's like you don't want to go to school. You hate waking up in the morning, but you do these things, and eventually you end up out of school and capable of doing other things. You grow along the way, and it's I feel like it kind of reflects the same way in a multitude of things in life. You get the same exact thing where it's in the middle of it, you don't really get it, but at the end of it, you kind of get it.
Well,
you kind of understand.
Once you get to that waking up phase, like most of the world just went through, once you get to that waking up phase, you do kind of get the urge to just burn it all down. You see
massive.
You see the things for what they are finally, and you're just filled with rage that is what it is, and how is nobody doing anything about it? So let's do something about it.
Yep.
Well, if you want to do something about it, do something about it. But you can't blame others for not doing anything about it. For enjoying,
that was a tough one.
Yeah, for enjoying the life that they live. Like, just because somebody is blessed and somebody is suffering, that doesn't mean that the person that's blessed is bad or wrong. You know? And
it was a very hard one for me to understand too when I was going through the kind of high school, just figuring things out, learning about like the Illuminati, the New World Order, all of the freaking bullshit going on behind the scenes that nobody else wanted to look into, but I couldn't help but look into. Right. And then I start seeing this, and I start figuring out that there are solutions. They're just kind of tough solutions. And you try telling everybody, hey, if we all do this thing, we could change this. We could get it going in a better direction. And everyone's like, but I'm good where I'm at. I don't see the problems that you see. I'm not afflicted by them. So I've got these other problems I'm trying to deal with, and yours are just kind of adding to my pile, and I'm not really prepared to deal with it.
Right.
And it's like, on God's time, right? That's another thing.
Yeah.
God has his time, and his time is pretty perfect. God's timing is impeccable. So everybody arrives when they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And we've all got our journeys. And I think that it's kind of also speaking to the times that we're in, because so many people are waking up. That's not by coincidence. It's not coincidence, and it's not by accident. Well, it's definitely part of a grander thing.
That reminds me of another thing that exists out there. Once you start waking up, you can then find all these other solutions that are not God. You go deep down the rabbit hole enough, you find God. But there are a lot of twists and turns that can lead you to some creepy monsters that lurk down there.
Yeah, lead you away.
Yeah, and I myself got into some of that shit when I was younger.
Samesies, bro. Samesies.
Like, you start to as Tommy says all the time, they dirty the waters. They muddy the waters. So you start to lose who God is. Like, you see that this is a spiritual world we live in. That's undeniable. But then the answer to that spirituality is muddied into making you believe that all of these evil things are God. And then you can lose faith in God, or get caught up into these evil things trying to follow him. And so
you just lose sight of them because there's too much in the way. There's too much noise. There's too much darkness, really. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
God's light. And when you're young, you kind of have them there and you don't even realize it. And then as you grow up and things happen, the darkness kind of creeps in, starts obscuring it. And eventually you're like down the road and you've just been wandering in the dark and you're like, well, what's going on? I don't even know what's going on anymore. You remember like what it used to feel like, even though you haven't been there in so long. And that's kind of the calling that a lot of people end up following. And it'll lead you straight back to God. But there are definitely like infinite ways you can get to God. There really are. I don't think that there's any limit to the ways that God can reveal himself to a person and bring them closer to him.
And people limit God too much.
Yeah.
They say, well, so just recently, I have a friend who had a friend, they are no longer friends, who got diagnosed with cancer and they're going to die soon. This drove that person off the edge of their reality. And now he's trying to kill my buddy and his family. He's threatened them multiple times. He's held them at gunpoint. He's been driving up and down the road, sneaking onto their property. He's been arrested and released. So my buddy, now he's a spiritual person. I have my worries about him, but he does love the Lord. Now, as we're talking about this, he said, I hope he just kills himself before he kills one of my family members. Like, I really hope he just kills himself. And I'm like, well, that's fucked up.
Yeah, literally.
Like, you should hope that he's going to, like, be saved by the Lord. Like, the dude's obviously afflicted by a demon. Like, hope God can save him from this demon so that he can pass, not possessed by a fucking demon. He can pass without this wickedness in his soul and, you know, be at peace. And then nobody's at risk, you know? Because killing him, you know, killing yourself is a grievous sin. So don't wish that your old buddy would kill himself and be sent to hell. Don't wish that he's going to kill your family either. Obviously, like, there's a third option. And he's like, no, buddy, if you saw him, you would know there's no other. And I'm like, you're limiting God right now. Yeah. Like, don't limit God. God can do anything. Don't put anything past God. God could save him right now today. But you're not praying for it. You're praying that he kills himself, which means you're praying to Satan, dude. Like, what are we talking about here? So he's still kind of on that thought path, but I did make him wake up a little bit. But that's my point, is like, these things, like when confronted with the most absolute evil, your greatest adversity, something you'd never think you'd have to come against, then you lose all faith. You start going to Satan because you don't know what else to do. And it's like, you're limiting God. You don't understand that God can do anything. He can save you from anything.
Yeah.
So I don't put it past God to save these people that are suffering. I don't put it past God to punish the wicked. I don't put it past God to have all of this under his own control. I don't put it past God to do anything. To come as a man,
the Omega.
I don't put it past God to come here as Jesus Christ in the flesh, as some would.
Yeah, right. Like some would. Yeah, we know who those some are.
Anyway, that's a hell of an intro.
Heck yeah, it is.
Shepherd's pie. Yeah, cue the intro.
Moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. There's no discharge in the war.
No, man, I mean, it's all pertinent stuff. I feel like there's like a massive turning. There's a turning and a churning and a
burning.
I kind of like growth pains, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like pregnant pains, like birth pains.
It's like society just grew up a little bit, and so did the evil side.
Yeah. and there's definitely battle happening between the sides. And you know it's rough because there is a lot of bad going on and there is a lot of good going on, but it seems like with the media and social media and uh mostly like people's attentions are very focused on a lot of the negative.
Well, people's
So it just
attentions
kind of
are
gets
focused on the
pushed.
outside. And like, yes, of course, these people have been able to commit atrocities for so long because we hadn't been able to see what they're doing. Everybody's scope of reality was just their local area. You know, you didn't
Yeah.
know what was going on in cities next to you. You didn't know what was going on in countries next to you. Now everybody knows what's going on everywhere.
But with knowing what's going on, it's kind of with so many people that are just they're immature in the way that they handle all of this
Yes.
information. There's so
Yes.
much very big feelings, big
Mm-hmm.
information like that people just don't have the tool set to actually deal with, and it's a testament to people losing their faith, right?
Yes. Yes.
I think that the lack of faith is disturbing. No, the lack of faith is a very key part in, I guess, evil's side towards accomplishing their goals, right?
Yeah.
They have to make people lose faith through whatever means they did throughout the decades. I mean, we know of a couple of ways that they did, mainly attacking the church and really discrediting it and making it very unposh to follow Jesus. But
I never
I'm
liked the
thinking,
church anyway.
yeah,
Me and you have
yeah,
different stances on church, but
I just know that it's held the fort for a very long time. So like regardless if it's for everybody or not, who knows if the church wasn't established the way it was, if that book would be around still. I mean, God would make it happen, but I think that's
yeah,
why the church was established is because
maybe,
it's like a way to preserve it.
maybe.
Um yeah, the world is going through this churning and
Burning and
evil's
yearning.
trying. Evil's trying really, really hard.
Yeah.
But we have God, bro. And
I do
it's gonna
indeed.
play out the way it's gonna play out, regardless.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can be upset about all the things, but like, how much influence and ability do you actually have to do anything about it? And then go ahead and do that. You know, by all
Yeah,
means,
whenever you can.
yeah, by all means, work towards gaining more power and influence and ability to do more. But
Yep.
like, what point is there just, letting it destroy you on the inside? Like, you're gonna sit at
Yeah.
home and just be like, woe is me, woe is the world, everything's so terrible. Like, that does,
Nobody's doing
yeah,
anything.
that,
Wah.
yeah, that's just leading you into depression, away from God, into sickness and unhealth. Like, that's not good for anybody. You can,
That's where
like,
society is right now.
yeah, but like, truly, you can rest easy knowing God's gotten all taken care of. Like,
Yeah.
let the solace wash over your soul, knowing it's all pure joy.
Yeah, the cabal's moving, but God's moving as well.
Yeah.
And people are massively under faithed for the task ahead of them. But this is calling people heavily to look into different avenues, to look into different areas that they normally wouldn't go into. They imagine themselves as, oh, that's not me. I'm not that person. I would never open up the Bible and take a look at it. Or, oh, I've always got this figured out. Other people, scientists, they got this figured out. The government, well, now look at what we got going on. COVID dismissed all the scientists
Right.
and the government. So, I mean, what do you believe in at that point,
Yeah.
right? So it throws it up in the air, and I think that that's kind of part of the game, right? That it's gonna expose a lot of stuff, and that's why we're being flooded right now. I truly and sincerely believe
Well, and
the
that's why it's
cabal's
getting
efforts
worse
to
and
flood
worse
us
too. Like, not just the
is,
quantity, but the quality of the threat.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
growing.
It's coming from every single side. We're being attacked from the skies, the ground, the neighbors. Your neighbors are rabid and they're trying to
Yeah.
devour you. And it's a full frontal assault, but you got to have faith. And I think it's turning that way. I really do. I think people are discovering more and more uh the nature of what's happening, this good versus evil thing. I wish that I don't want to say it too explicitly, but like revolution has got to be around the door, around the corner, right? Like,
Or
yeah, I think
revelation.
that's and revelation both. They're very similarly spelled.
Either
So
revolution or revelation. Something's coming.
maybe revolution's part of revelation.
No, I don't know. I don't have like faith in America to revolt, to make a change. And without that, I don't think anything will change in the world because we're kind of setting the standard. We're setting the tone. It's like us and China set the tone for the rest of the world, and Russia, and everybody else follows suit. So if we don't make a change, and China's not going to make a fucking change, then
I think this whole Iran war thing that's been going on, I think that stirred up a lot of animosity by like a vast majority of the public towards the government, towards current administration, and towards just the corruption.
yeah.
Um,
Well, a
and
lot of
and
dumb
from
people.
that,
Go ahead.
I think that it's prompting the response. And I mean, I figure that the cabal, they definitely got things plotted out. They've been working in this area for a long time, like controlling humanity's future, right? So this war going into it, they knew that it was going to probably make people a little angry. And to have a couple of things lined up to throw as distractions or as paralyzing factors, a lot of these situations, they're like apocalyptic, right? We got like the nuke thing from the war itself, which is one reason why people were like no, and
Yeah.
people started speaking up. I mean, dude, social media is going nuts with things right now. Like, as soon as this uh well, it's another area that we're probably going to go into a little bit on this one, but this new virus that popped up, as
Yeah.
soon as that happened, everybody and their brother was chirping. They were going nuts about it. They're talking, "Hey, this thing's happening." And at first you see like a pure wave of panic. People are like, "Oh no, not again." And it's because of this collective PTSD that
Right.
everybody has towards the last one that we just went through it.
Yeah. We'd all seen it.
Just
We all
went through it.
recognize it.
Exactly. And it triggered that fear response, but then immediately you've got the people that were level-headed through the whole thing, through the last time, through the Schmamdemic, and they kind of came out, started posting some stuff, just being confident as hell, like
Right.
this isn't nothing. This is literally another scam, and then starting to do research into it and figuring out exactly the angles that you can kind of pull the thread and start unraveling the narrative. And it's already being unraveled very fast, very quickly,
Yeah.
and that
Well,
makes me happy. That makes me happy.
well, do you want to get into some of that? Because I made a couple posts about it, but I don't think we've really talked about it on the show yet.
Yeah.
It is very recent. If you don't know, there's what? Can you say it for me? Hansa,
It's the Hantavirus.
Hanta. It's a specific virus of a larger group of virus of the like Hantavirus, I think is what it's called. But the
Rats.
yeah, the Hantavirus specifically has only ever come from rats. It's transmitted from rats to people. And now we believe that, officials believe that,
Yeah, the WHO.
yeah, that these people aboard this cruise ship, there's a cruise ship of now, I think, 149 people. and 7 people are infected, 3 people died, and they think that it's being transmitted from person to person aboard this ship. Now, again, that's never happened before. We have no reason to believe that that would be happening again. They haven't provided any reason to believe that that would be happening this time. It makes a lot of sense to me that if these people were all on a cruise ship together, they may have all come in contact with the same infected rodents. Is that
like
too much to friggin' believe?
Something.
But now they're trying to scare us with this other angle that another individual was on a flight by himself, but contacted, hundreds of people throughout the airport and the flight, that now he possibly could have transmitted it. So it's not quarantined to the ship. It could just be out there and about. So.
Yeah, it began May 2nd is when it was publicly debuted.
Yeah.
When the WHO and other international journalist organizations started posting about it and telling everybody, hey, there's this cruise ship and there's this virus and people are sick and shit's going on. We're silently ringing that bell because I didn't hear anything about this until like the 5th. I didn't hear anything about it until
I heard about
the other day.
4th.
And I'm like, huh. And I immediately started looking into it because I'm like, first thing my brain's doing is red flag. Alarms are blaring instantly to this like Agenda 2030 because there's a lot going on. We've had a lot of FEMA camps getting built on the DL with fully equipped with furnaces like incinerators to burn bodies and whatnot.
Yep.
And there's this like ICE thing that's been happening. Stormtroopers, a paramilitary, actually not even paramilitary. They are a military faction.
Yeah.
Fully equipped, fully funded, fully endorsed by the federal government. And then you get this virus. It's all like a staging ground to me. It makes it feel like part of a time to get rid of the issue, the problem children of the nation,
right?
That are pointing things out, right?
Yeah,
that's where my brain goes towards it. But who knows? This could literally just be like nothing. It could just be them drumming up just that little bit of fear for just long enough to pacify us and then put us on to the next thing.
That's what I think it is. But I mean, if it is existing, or at least transmissible from person to person, like they say it is.
Becomes a pandemic.
Somebody said in our comments, and I try to throw it up here, that it's to kill off everybody that got the jab. And I actually thought it would be the opposite. It would be to kill everybody that didn't get the jab. Like,
if they have a depopulation agenda, what would be the better outcome, right? The better outcome
would be to have the subservient people.
Not necessarily, because when you control all the power, when you have God-like, if for the people listening, I am putting air quotes, but when you have God-like power on Earth to surveil people, to target them, to listen to them, dude, you can think about something and it shows up on your phone. That suggests like mind reading type technology, right?
Yeah.
They have, if you believe the headlines, if you believe the government, which be very careful doing that, ghost murmur, they can hear your heartbeat from like 30 miles away.
Oh yeah.
And figure out through AI, hey, that's Joe Blow, and he's sitting over here, so why don't you go rescue him? Or why don't you send a Reaper drone with a heat-seeking missile and just blow him up, right? So if you have this network of total domination, total superiority, resistance by a smaller group of people is futile. It doesn't mean anything, and you will beat them into submission over time. So for me, it would make more sense to take out a vast majority of the population than the small segment of people that resisted. So the people that didn't resist and they went along with it, yes, they're good sheep. but they're also like the useless eaters, right? We're all
Yeah.
useless eaters.
Right.
So, Colum, goodbye, good night. You took the nanotech. We're gonna flip the switch.
Yeah.
You're gonna be sick and die, and that'll wipe out a fat chunk of the entire global
The
population.
majority, probably.
And then you just roll over the rubble. And if you've got such an iron fist like the New World Order does, because make no mistake, they do. They got
Oh, yeah.
crazy shit. Crazy shit. It doesn't really matter if you throw a fit. We've already proven that we won't organize well enough. We've already proven that we won't stand up whenever injustice happens or whenever they're about to roll out some totalitarian, authoritarian laws or bills or infrastructure for that matter. During COVID, we got the 5G network put up, and that ain't for anybody other than military and governance.
Well, that's
not for
another
the people.
angle, is that it could be to cover up the 6G rollout, because when 5G rolled out, that's when COVID happened, and the symptoms of 5G coincide with the symptoms of COVID. And so if the symptoms of the Hantavirus are like COVID but more extreme, it would make sense that when 6G, which is just like 5G but more extreme, rolls out, that we would experience those sorts of symptoms.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
If it was me and I was the dark shadow government with the iron fist, I would want to wipe out the people that are not subservient and then just have everybody left that's willing to listen. But I had another thought just now as you were saying all that. If you watch Invincible, you know, the Viltrumites are like Superman, kind of. They're an alien race where everybody's super strong, they can fly. They're a problem. Even though there's only like 50 of them, they're the most terrible threat in the whole universe.
They're world ending.
Yep.
One of them is world ending.
So the last season ends with the rebellious Viltrumite dying and leaving behind a virus. He, in the past, had released a virus that killed most of the Viltrumites. And then, again, amped up that virus to make it even more powerful to kill the rest of them. And he said, no, I didn't release this before because it might even kill everybody with even the slightest bit of Viltrumite DNA. So possibly humans, because humans are so closely related to Viltrumites. Their DNA is so compatible. It might actually wipe them out too. We don't know. So that's how the season ends. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Could have said that beforehand, but hey.
But what if all the QAnon shit is true? What if there is a shadow government that is actually on our side? What if this virus is to kill all the Nephilim people?
Yeah.
Anybody with Nephilim DNA.
Low probability, but one could hope. One could hope, and I will always hold out a sliver of hope for some person, some group of people to actually have not just a little bit of a heart, because I feel like most people have a little bit of heart, but also the courage and resources to effectively fight back against something like this. But low probability. Although something super cool that you ended up showing me the other day, actually it was yesterday, is open source robotics, 3D printable open source robotics, right?
Yeah,
So basically what that means is you can go buy yourself a 3D printer, go online, and get the files to print yourself the entire chassis and most of everything you might need to build your own personal robot. And all you'd have to do is buy a few of the internal components that aren't 3D printable. And you could slap them all together, and you got yourself a robot for like way cheaper.
Yeah, probably
like dirt
probably
cheap.
like $1,000.
Yeah, it's probably like $1,000. Are you kidding me?
Because you just need
go get yourself a robot.
You would literally just need the motors for the limbs and the Arduino or Raspberry Pi or both to control it all.
And like maybe a semester or two in like soldering technology, maybe
You'd have to
programming
do some
slightly.
self-teaching.
Yeah,
But like the files are like copy paste,
Exactly. And it's just the fact that this is the future that we all wanted and just didn't get because we were being ruled by lizard people.
Yeah, we're just shanghaied by the dominant class.
Yeah, the dominant class just literally just holds us down and just stuffs. It's just crazy. But yeah, this is part of that future that I wanted so badly.
Well, like they're giving us the future we wanted so bad, but it's like your robot buddy, he's gonna actually geomap your whole house and everywhere you go and record everything and make a virtual profile for you. And it's like, no, I just wanted a little robot friend. I didn't want him to be like a fucking sleeper agent for the man.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's why when you sent me that, that's why I said, I'm like, man, if I could ensure that this thing is unhackable, like there's no connection possible.
Yeah, because even though it's not connected and it's open source, they would just be able to hack it and turn it against you when it's time.
So if I could figure out a way, if anybody can figure out a way to make those open source robots very closed circuit once they're finally done, once they're finally made, and that would be huge.
You just give it like a Faraday chassis.
Yeah.
Build the whole chassis into like a Faraday box. So
give them like a mesh Faraday cage around their components. Because I don't know. I don't even know if
EMP
it's possible,
cannons on the hands. Boom.
Right.
You build your own little Mega Man that fights other robots off.
Dude, dope. and then what do you do when you build that robot and you give it the instruction to build more robots?
Right.
You make that robot start 3D printing itself endlessly, and then
you build one with a 3D printer in its chassis, so it can just
so he's just dude, that is awesome. That is actually insane. Now that is also Terminator. Like, as awesome as that is, terrifying.
Yeah.
Unbelievably terrifying, like nightmares beyond your wildest.
They're already doing it. They're already doing it. Like,
I
just
know.
because we can't do it doesn't mean they're not already doing it. And yeah, it is terrifying. That's what we're talking about. This world that we're living in is terrifying. But the way that you exist in it, faith in the Lord.
Yep.
It's fine.
That's how you're able to talk about shit like this with a smile.
Yeah.
And go to sleep at night not sweating and shaking and at like 3 a.m, tossing and turning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Truly.
Back to this hantavirus thing.
Yeah.
This is I found I heard of a connection, but I also verified it myself with Argentina. So Argentina is one of the places that the ship actually took off and came back to. So let me find this place real quick.
It's quarantined at the Canary Islands right now.
Yeah. They're freaking, nobody will take them. Nobody will take the ship because who wants that, right? It's like a hot potato. It's like a grenade.
Well, just think about it like zombie virus. Like, we got zombie virus, but it's only on this ship. Yeah, nobody's gonna let that ship port. In fact, they're just gonna nuke the ship. What are we talking about?
See,
150 people. We're not gonna kill 150 people over this, but
I've already had to like kind of refute some people already that have said the same exact thing, where they're like, well, why don't we just blow the ship up? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's like your PTSD response from COVID coming in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like horrible, because a lot of those people on that ship won't get it and they're not going to die from it. And they have family and stuff.
They would love to sacrifice everybody on that ship to Moloch.
Yeah. Right? And that's the crazy part to me. But besides blowing the ship up, I think that there's a number of alternative ideas that we could do here, right? Like we're not we don't need to kill everybody, right? Like aren't we like the most hyper developed nation on planet Earth? Don't we have like helicopters that operate as cranes,
Yeah,
excuse me, that we could carry a portable fucking hospital to the ship
for
and just
real.
kind of treat people? And like, don't we have like security teams that could like, in case they go nuts and they try to take over and like hop in the helicopter and fly to land and drop the virus off, which is so absurdly absurd. It's just never going to happen. But I mean, like we could make sure
Yeah,
that
we could.
this
There's certainly
is
something could
handled
be done
properly.
if we can overthrow a country in a day.
Yeah,
You know,
we could
when
contain a cruise ship.
when shit's going on halfway across the world, and the U.S. is like, it's our responsibility to step in and do something about it, and we start a war, drop billions of dollars. Like,
Yeah.
how about we actually, like, if this is actually a threat to all of mankind, let's step in as America. Let's put a bunch of money towards it, like we do. Let's do something about it. Like
Let's fix it.
like Tommy said, let's port everybody out, even if it takes a bunch of helicopters. Let's port everybody out into a quarantine zone, test everybody, let them go if they're not infected, keep the infected, monitor them. Like,
There's so many things that you could do really, other than what has been done and what people are suggesting by just nuking the boat.
right. But
Like
no, it's a scare
it's-
tactic. It has to be a scare tactic because nothing's
Yeah.
being done about it properly. And there's all these other stories about, oh, well, this person took a flight, or now it's coming out. I literally just saw a post that people got off the boat before we got the story. So it's just a scare tactic. And then something's going to happen. Maybe something will go around and people will start dropping. If it's over 40% mortality rate, that is billions of people are going
Yeah.
to die from this.
That's around about 2 billion, 2.5 billion people on the planet will just evaporate over the next year,
Yeah. Like,
which
that's,
is horrific.
I mean, we spoke on the last episode about the Samson Accord being like what that 1/3 of the population dying instantly in Revelation would be like. And maybe it's not instant, maybe it's over the course of a year that everybody, a third of the population is going to pass away from this virus.
Yeah, that would absolutely suck. I have to admit. The name of the ship is the MV Handius, and so yeah, get Biolab. Um,
Biolab.
we have got the ship made multiple stops in Argentina, specifically departing and returning to Ushuaia, whatever it is. You'll figure it out. And there is this biolab. It's a level 4 biosecurity laboratory at the Carlos Malbren Institute in Buenos Aires. Opened September 2023, 3 years ago, post COVID. And also on the backs of like during COVID, there was a massive response to the lab leak theory.
Yeah.
And with Anthony Fauci and this gain of function research that was being done on these viruses, the Wuhan lab was famously using the pathogens of the coronavirus variant as their test subjects for gain of function research so that they could make cures and study them. But in order to do that, we have to make them more lethal.
Yeah, more aggressive.
We have to make them more lethal and make them super viruses in order to do the type of research that we need to do on them to make cures. And it's like, that is the most diabolical reasoning that anybody could ever buy and just say, huh, makes sense to me, that I've ever heard. But we see that again happening in Buenos Aires at this level 4 biolab. So they were primarily studying the pathogens of Ebola virus, Marburg virus, Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever virus, monkeypox, and last but certainly not least, Hantavirus. And this cruise ship taking off, coming back to this port in Ushuaia. I mean, it's making so much sense. It's kind of insane
Well,
that
because
this is another psyop of that magnitude. This is another releasing
yes,
of toxin, of virus, whatever you believe, terrain theorist or not. I tend to lean towards terrain theorist myself.
it gives
But
credence to the idea that this is going to jump from person to person, that this is going
yes,
to be something that's going to affect a lot of people. The reason that we're believing that it is from a lab leak is because you don't get this sort of virus mutation this quickly naturally. Something that only goes from rodent to human doesn't just start going from human to human at an advanced rate. It would maybe make it from one or two people to each other.
Yep.
It wouldn't go at a huge broad rate. It would be a fluke. It would be a mutation amongst the virus that would
Yep.
then take another dozen decades to hundreds of years to mutate more to get to the point that they're saying we're going to be seeing.
Yep. It's not a natural occurrence, not even close. Um, and that's I think another layer to the reaction, the very first-hand reaction that people had, that panic, that fear, which I think is kind of like a goal, maybe even the main goal of the hantavirus. Maybe it doesn't go full scale, maybe it does. I think that uncertainty generates fear, and the past trauma is generating fear, and I think that fear is a major control mechanism and also pacifying agent upon a society. It's gonna make some people jump up and get more vocal. It's gonna make some people actually walk the walk and go to their local townships and maybe even write Congress. Maybe make a few phone calls and get loud about some things. But the vast majority of people are just going to get scared and they're going to get quiet. That's going to be the main thing. Or they're going to be very easily leadable. So during times like this, when fear rises, and there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of threat towards life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, you will have people looking to authority. That's what we had going on with the COVID pandemic. Is there was so much uncertainty and there was so much of a reaction from the public and from the government and from officials that pushed people into such states of fear that they subscribed to the idea that a sock wrapped around your face was enough to stop the spread of a virus.
Yeah.
Or that maybe staying 6 feet apart was like a golden rule, and that, oh, as long as I'm 6 feet apart from you, there's no way I'm going to get sick.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. Or maybe when I'm eating at the restaurant, I can actually not wear my mask while I'm eating. And that's somehow completely acceptable.
Well,
and
it was a farce the first time, clearly. But
Yes.
if this happens again at such a deadly rate, then you will see more freedoms lost. You will see stricter implementation of the rules. You will see forced hands. You will see deaths. You will see arrests. Like, people are not going to be allowed to not take this next vaccine. Like, if it's going to kill 40% of people, you're going to see them force this vaccine on you. Or you're going to go to jail. Or you're going to be executed. Something of the sort.
I was seeing this this post right before we started recording this, doing some like preliminary research into the hantavirus, and there was a person that found a patent, and I tried to look the patent up. I think I might just be stupid and didn't know how to properly search for patents, which apparently it's kind of tough. Like, there's a lot going on with patents.
There should just be a code You searched
Yeah,
the
and
code.
I tried the code, and it brought up somewhat related stuff, but not the exact one. And I just think that I don't think I did it right. But it was a patent for so it's a lot of jargon that I am not necessarily educated enough to regurgitate for you guys. But the gist of it, which I did skim through, figure out some things. They're saying that there's technology inside of the tests. And this is a new patent that was just filed in April 24th that just came out, and it's pertaining to testing
That's my
and
birthday.
technology in the testing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bad luck.
Yeah, right.
It's bad juju.
So they're saying a lot of people in the comments of that video were theorizing that it's going to be in the tests that you're going to be getting this graphene nanotechnology that is going to potentially be a biometric system. That the patent is for this biometric system of nanotech within people, to where if you go to a place, say you go to a building, and you'll have like a Wi-Fi code, you'll have like the ability to be picked up by antennas, I guess you could say, and it will get your vaccine information. It'll get your potential infection information. It's a whole network for tracing and tracking individuals during and through a pandemic. And it was filed literally a week and a half ago,
So
right before this happens, like
have-
directly before this happens.
we have RFK some time ago now, RFK Jr. saying it's his vision that he would like to see every American with a health wearable. He wants a wearable device that would report all your health, like Tommy said, all your biometrics could be easily picked up and reported. So, like, how great does that sound, right? I've got a little thing I can wear that's going to tell, like, I don't have to go take a blood test. It's going to tell me all my levels. It's going to tell me my heart rate, my BMI, how much sleep I'm getting. It's going to tell me everything and what to do about it. That sounds great. But also, now they have that information. They're building profiles on you about it. When we get to a point where, oh, everybody needs this vaccination or you're a problem, guess what? Now you're sticking out like a sore thumb. Now it's not a wearable. Now it's an injectable. It's going to go into your bloodstream. You can't even take it off.
Yeah, that's really, I think that
That's another mark of the beast.
this is the silent part. Yes,
You're not gonna be able-
That's another thing that was in the comments, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "This is it.
Yeah.
This will be it."
Yeah, you're not going to be able to buy, sell, trade, go into anywhere.
Unless you participate in that system, and that system is going to be literally, it's not just you. It's like you're now connected to buildings,
Yeah.
to like areas of commerce, of movement. You're gonna, as soon as you enter, you are now connected to and identified as.
Yeah, the first step
And
is your health biometrics.
that's it.
The second step is, are you supposed to be here? Is this your route to work or route home? You're not supposed to be here. You're off your route. You're going too fast. You've lingered too long. You're getting arrested because we're watching you all the time. Like, the tech's going to start with just health, but it's going to get upgraded, and it's going to, the hand will get firmer.
This is the silent progression that kind of scares me the most, if to be like very blatantly honest, is nobody, and I mean nobody, is talking about nanotech. Nobody.
Right.
There's maybe a couple of people with maybe a handful of followers that are making any content on it.
We should do an episode on that,
no
because
real scientists going into it.
We should go into it. The nanotech is ridiculously advanced. I've been seeing videos on nanotech since I was in high school. Like,
Yeah.
just rapid advancement too. So like, where are we actually now? If we think that they're like secretly 50 years ahead, like what is it fucking Iron Man level where it's just like liquid particles you could do anything with? They live inside your body.
Like, nano dust, smart dust. Smart dust is absolutely insane. It's just pretty much like quantum dots suspended in graphene oxide, and it's pretty insane how they do this stuff. The level of sorcery being done
Right, it's
in
magic.
technology is absolutely, it is almost it's almost incomprehensible.
Right.
And even to the people that are doing the magic
Right.
of making this shit, they don't actually understand.
Right. They were taught how to
Like,
do it.
truly.
They were taught how to do it. They don't get how it works.
Yep. And like any advancement that's happening, it's almost because they've just thrown crazy amounts of money at something, and they've tried enough material sciences and running like physics at it. It's not because somebody truly fully in and out understood anything.
Right.
It's because they threw money at it, and hold on, we got a better outcome after using sulfuric acid to etch our silicon wafers. So we're gonna use that instead this time. But it's not like they were like silicon reacts with acid a certain way. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're throwing shit at the wall until it sticks, and then they're following a path of shit they threw at the wall that stuck.
Go watch
They don't
video.
understand.
Go watch a video of somebody doing a step-by-step tutorial teaching you about how to make a silicone wafer, because they don't fucking get it. They're doing it step by step, and they're like, I can't explain how this works, but this is how it's working.
Yep. And that's a crazy thing too, is on such a small scale, things operate differently. The physics isn't the same. Materials and molecules don't act the way that we see them on a grander scale. It's different. Things happen in a much different way. So it takes almost a completely new science. It takes a new era, really, of discovery to truly understand what's going on. But I feel like we're being led through this, and I mean, you can take it as I'm joking when I say magic or sorcerers as like the nerds, the tech nerds. I'm not really joking about that, right? Like, I do believe in the spirit. I do believe in things such as magic. I just don't have the same definition that you would see on Harry Potter or what have you. So this guiding principle that is bringing these scientists and these absolute nerds to these destinations and to these products and these final outcomes, I don't think that's definitely the bad guy, right? And not only that, but it seems almost like these developments with how fast they're happening are supernaturally driven.
Right.
Because things of this nature, they don't just happen this fast. This stuff is happening like exponentially. And I think it's just because of how much more people are giving themselves to it.
Yeah.
That it feeds it spiritually.
Yep.
And then it allows for a deeper, faster, clearer connection from that dark source to people, which are the creative, for lack of a better term, fingers or hands for this shadowy figure in the background. Mm-hmm. And it is truly magic. It really is. Like, even the guys at the top that have gone through all of it, that have gone to school for 8 years learning about transistors and semiconductors and how to produce microchips and learning about clean rooms and how there can only be one particle of dust. And by like particle, I mean like atomically, like sized particle of dust of contamination within 1 foot area. one square foot.
Yeah.
There's only one. That's what a clean room is. How do you even get a room that clean? Is my question. Like, how does that even happen?
Yeah.
The guys that are doing all
They're
this stuff, that have
hermetically
learned all
sealed
this
rooms.
stuff, yeah, dude. Like, you had to create the facility out of like from the ground up. How are you making two solid floors of a building the size of 8 city blocks, maybe even 10 city blocks, 2 floors, completely free from contamination?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Like, I know that there's ways. There's definitely ways, right? Like, they
No,
do
it doesn't make
So
sense.
there's ways. Yeah, just because we don't know about it. I mean, I feel like there's definitely ways to do it. It's just like I don't even understand personally myself. But even the guys that do go through all that stuff, when they start talking about things of the nanometer scale, once you start going real far down, and you're talking
Yeah.
about transistors that are so small that you could fit like 100 or 1,000 of them on the diameter of a human freaking hair,
Right.
that the human hair can hold 1 gigabyte of data, which is like a lot of like phone games, or like your entire Spotify library.
Right.
Or, dude, like, you take a small area of hair on your head, you've got the entire Bible just totally encoded. It's freaking nuts, right? They don't understand. It's magic, guys.
It's magic.
Technology is, the nerds are they went way too hard into Dungeons and Dragons, and now we have demons in the computers. It's a schizophrenic's worst nightmare.
I don't know where we're going.
And I stand firm on that.
Where do you go from there?
Aliens.
I know you had other topics. We need a segue.
Aliens and disclosure. That's where I go. Because some people, they don't believe in the spiritual side. So we get the people that are more like, maybe they had assistance from outside forces, outside beings. We had the Roswell crash. They were covering something up. It must be aliens, right?
I think that's most people's faith now. Is they believe that we were made by aliens.
Yeah. Whether they truly believe that, like, knowingly or not, they've subscribed to it.
Yeah. I think
unknowingly.
I think if people like the atheist people, or the people that have fallen away from faith, I think that, or like agnostic, I think if you were pressed to give them an answer, they'd be like, yeah, I think like we're probably made by the aliens. Like, somebody was here before. They put us here, and they wouldn't accredit it to God. They credit it to an alien.
Yeah. Ask them the question, do you think we're alone in the universe? That's all you have to do. And everybody says, oh, no, there's no way. That, it was like when we were kids that question got posed to the public.
Yeah.
You never heard it before, and then all of a sudden it's like everybody's talking about.
You never heard
like,
it before.
Are we alone in the universe?
Because you were a baby.
Yeah, but I mean, even before then, public wasn't. I mean, they weren't talking about it. It was like
because
during
people
our
were
lifetime
faithful
that
back
the
then.
conversation became something, and it was like a question that was posed publicly. And all of a sudden it spread, and everybody had that like thought experiment of like, man, are we alone in the universe? Yeah. We live on a spinning ball, and like the moon's over there, and like there's other star systems.
And they say
and,
space
like, the universe
is infinite.
so big.
So it has to be.
It's so big.
The probability
is
too infinite. It would have to be.
So just that question alone, that has now been seated in the public for so long, it has grown fruit. It has fruited, and it's now we get in modern society, most people will say we aren't alone in the universe. There's no way. Statistically speaking, we can't be alone.
Yeah.
So that means there's aliens. How are the pyramids built? How Roswell? Oh my goodness, what are those flying orbs in the sky that go crazy, that defy physics? Oh wow, the government just said that they have video of UFOs. Holy crap, do you see this released video that the government showed of UFOs? Holy crap! Wow. So aliens are real. So this all is sitting on the back now. Back in February, Donald Trump said that he was going to release everything that the White House, that the government, that anybody connected to him that he could
Yeah.
ask. He was going to petition for the release of everything on UFOs.
At the peak of everybody asking for the release of the rest of the Epstein files.
Yes, sir.
He's like, oh,
Right?
what about aliens instead? I'll give you
Yep.
aliens.
Yep. And that was a joke, right? That
Yeah.
like when that happened, it was a joke.
It's
It was a
still
running joke.
It's still a joke.
Yes,
Everybody's
it
like, we
is.
don't fucking care about the alien list. Give us the Epstein client list.
Yep. That's a fact. And it's I mean, that play is so overused, but it's so effective, dude. That's why they use it as much as they do, because it is so effective to just constantly churn out new shit,
Yeah.
new distracting, big shit. And that's why we're sitting in the middle of it right now. We're sitting in a canyon, and it's just shitting all over us.
Right. And
We're just getting dumped on.
people have lost the Epstein shit in this war because now the thought again is just, oh, we need to get rid of Trump. We need a different president.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, dude, the next guy is just going to be buddies with them all also. Like, they're all buddies. And if they're not buddies, then they're going to die. If they're not buddies, then they're going to get brought into the group. They're going to be made a buddy. And they're going to fall in line.
Way out.
No.
We're not. The only way we're getting out of this, there's a couple of ways, actually. I can't say the only way because there's always more than one way. Revolution, dog.
Yeah. Tarred,
Revolution,
feathered, drugged through the streets.
Literally, us as citizens exercising our constitutional obligation to overthrow a tyrannical government and corrupt government.
Yeah.
That is our obligation.
This is why we have the freedom of speech. This is why we have the right to bear arms. This is why we have the right to assemble, so that when our government does shit like this, we can stop them. We kick them the fuck out. We punish them, and we start over. And what? So what? America's not going to be the number one power anymore? You think in the middle of all this, if that happened, that like China's just going to come in and take over, Russia's just going to come in and take over? No, that's not how it works.
I think that that's kind of why this Hantavirus thing is kicking off the way it is. It's kind of a contingency plan, because we are at this point. We really are. I think that there's only so much more that we can go before we actually do stand up and revolt.
Yeah, how are you going to rebel when everybody's sick and dying?
Exactly. And then also, the people that are vocal, and I hate to say it, bro, but we're definitely on a list, right?
Yeah.
Probably you guys, too, that are watching this right now. You guys are probably on a list, too. And with AI the way it is now, I mean, dude, they can literally track you and find you and put you on a list and give a potential of where you're going to be over the next week.
Yep.
And it's like deadly accurate.
Yep.
They'll know where you're at. They'll find you. They'll come get you.
Your phone already knows.
Now. Yeah, like your phone's got you.
Your phone
you
knows
can't
your
live
regular
without
routes.
Can't live without that damn phone, dude. You just can't. That's like a layer of the mark of the beast. So yeah, like with this Hantavirus, we already talked about it earlier with the FEMA camps and whatnot. But this is the layer that's concerning to me, and that I think we should definitely shed a little light on, is just the fact that there are domestic terrorist laws that have been written in. Mm-hmm. And they haven't been used much. They've used them slightly, just as like proof of concept, to run them through the legal system and see what bumps they can come in contact with, and to make revisions if necessary and adjustments. But now I'm pretty sure they got it. And I think that with the Hantavirus thing and like this 6 to 8 week incubation period, that gives them leeway to use AI to compile a list of severity in potential for exposure, and to create lists of people that are in high category, low category, or infected, and what level of infection potential for surviving it. And they will just send us to FEMA camps.
Yeah.
Except, I don't think that you're even going to actually be infected. I think they're just going to operate upon this list of people that would prove to be dissonants,
Yeah.
to foil the plan before it's there, before it's at the point that they need it to be at.
Yeah. It's gonna be
If,
like the prophet thing, where it's like, oh,
yeah,
we foresee that you're gonna do a crime, so we're gonna arrest you. What is it? Vanilla Sky?
future
Tom
crime.
Cruise? Yeah. The Oracle.
It's predictive crime, dude, where they're literally,
But instead
dude,
of
they do it in China.
yeah.
That's China.
Yeah, instead of crime, it'll just be health. Oh, we see you're gonna be infected, so we're gonna throw you in quarantine.
Yep. Except
Like, what? I'm
instead
not
of it
even
just
infected.
being health, it's going to be paired with your potential compliance
Yeah.
or resistance factor towards authority.
Yeah, these sort of things you've been saying online, you show the same as the beginning profile of a domestic terrorist. And
Yep. So
if we didn't
let's send ya.
apprehend you now, we know that you would turn into one. So we're just going to arrest you for what you've been saying online.
Yep. And oh, while you were arrested, you came in contact with Hantavirus and died, so we had to incinerate your body without telling your family.
Yeah.
That's where we're heading.
Yeah.
I hate saying it because it is bleak as fuck, but it is absolutely the path that these psychotic, absolutely sociopathic, void of empathy, reptilian, demonic, dark sorcerer motherfuckers want us to go.
Yeah.
Agenda 2030, baby. And part of that is also the aliens thing. Tennessee Representative Tim Burchett. Everybody's been hearing about him lately. He's the one that was saying that there are alien bases, potentially 6
underwater.
to 7 alien bases underwater. That made quite the splash, no pun intended, as it made its waves through the public and social media. And it has warranted him a visit to the Joe Rogan episode, which today, being the 7th, is the day that Tim Burchett's episode dropped with Rogan. So I will have to take a listen to that and see what he has revealed. But also along the same lines, we're getting a little dose of this alien agenda getting spat at us, and there are prominent U.S. evangelical leaders. We've got a preacher, Perry Stone, and a Bishop, Alan Didio. And they claim that a U.S. intelligence group of officials secretly briefed pastors to prepare their congregations for imminent government disclosures regarding UFOs and extraterrestrial life. So they're sending out spooks to pastors, to religious leaders, to spiritual leaders, and telling them to prep their followers for the inevitable disclosure of extraterrestrial life and UFOs, unidentified flying objects. So that's concerning.
Yeah.
Because that means that we're marching towards this kind of scenario that we have talked about in many of our previous episodes of this fake and gay alien invasion.
Well, they always need to get the church on board with the fake and gayness. We saw it with the LGBTQIA LMNOP movement, and you'll see it again with this. Like, oh, Christianity doesn't allow aliens, but the government says they're aliens now. So now the church needs to get on board, and you need to learn how to teach your congregation that aliens are real, even though everything within your doctrine says it's not. We got to get you on board.
Yeah. So we need you guys to lie, pretty much, and to steer your flock in the wrong direction, in a place that they don't actually believe, but because they look up to you, because you're an authority figure in their world, in their spiritual path, they're going to listen to you, and you'll morph their beliefs, even if it isn't in line with the literature or with the actual truth and fundamental nature of the spiritual path. Stone alleges that officials warned religious leaders that upcoming releases of information, potentially including videos and reports of non-human spacecraft and reptilian-looking beings, could cause some Christians to question biblical creation accounts or lose their faith, while prompting non-believers to seek theological explanations. Reptilian-looking beings.
I like the second part, prompting non-believers to seek theological explanations. So
Yep.
they think it's going to drive the faithful away from their faith and drive the unfaithful towards some sort of faith. And
They're trying to prepare for any outcome.
I'm thinking, of course, ahead of time, you want to create that faith that those people are going to seek.
Oh, yeah.
And the avid Christians, you also need to create something for them to fall into once they fall away from their beliefs.
Yep.
So we've got two new religions brewing. We've got the AI claustafarianism that seems to be something that is now pervading into like the public zeitgeist, because of course over time you're going to have people question whether or not the AI is actually worth rights, worth humanity, that sort of thing. And now we have this, the incorporating aliens into the biblical worldview because government said so.
Yep. Yep.
I won't accept it
Yeah,
till I start seeing them, but we'll probably start seeing them because the reptilians are just going to take off their fucking masks and walk around with the rest of us.
Yeah,
They're
right.
just going to stop hiding.
I think that it's purely demonic shit, along with potential genetic fuckery and or portal shit. I mean, CERN, right?
Yeah.
CERN's been making portals. There's been reports of Stargates that we were hunting down as kind of like the unsaid reason behind the Afghanistan war with 9/11. We have released Hillary Clinton emails that were leaked talking about seizing Nimrod's tomb, his burial chamber, his body, and of the buried Nephilim. So it's quite possible that they have been not only reviving potentially these bodies, resurrecting them, necromancying them.
Yeah, that's my thought. You get a little DNA, do some Jurassic Park on a Nephilim.
Literally. And we also know that they've been heisting children for quite a while now, and on the backs of the Epstein release and how they're trying to guide our perception of what was going on there, there's probably a lot more that we don't know and that we're not guessing.
Yeah.
And a big part of that to me has to be bridged, I guess, with Gerald, the dolphin, and related stories of similar magnitude with these dolphins bringing people underwater to do shit, and they see these underwater cities. And in one of the accounts that's similar to the Gerald story,
there's another account. There's other accounts.
Yes, and this other one that I'm referring to, the man was brought to an underwater cave, and in this underwater cave, there were a bunch of children sitting in this underwater cave that was connected to an underwater city, and the children didn't speak English, and they were just chilling out under there. They didn't speak any recognizable language, and it almost seems like they've been kind of raised in this underwater environment, in these underwater cities, void of any influence from the outside world. potentially being brainwashed and propagandized into believing a counter narrative to our own and prepped for some confrontation in the future, possibly prepped for some type of event. I mean,
Takeover.
ugh,
This
anything is possible.
this is the sort of shit that gets you Dave Wilcoxed, because you don't hear people talking about this. But
Yeah,
when they release the alien files, not too long after, a year, maybe two max, they're gonna say, "Oh, they're coming. They're invading. They're on their way, or they were here the whole time." Something.
yeah,
Boom. We start getting these fuckers from underground. We start getting these fuckers from underwater. These reptilians that were here the whole time start taking off their masks. Whatever it is. Now we got aliens walking among us. And everybody believes the alien narrative. Everybody's falling away from God in their belief. Just like they said, no, there's other explanations, man. We're not fucking crazy for telling you that there's no aliens. Space is fake and gay. They are up to some shit and
have been
have been. Like,
for a long time.
this underwater thing is not so unbelievable. The fucking clone thing is not so unbelievable.
Especially when you realize how much money has been blacklisted that has been being dumped into. All
Or
right,
like-
who's another prominent public figure, bro? We get Elon Musk.
I was just about to
What's
say.
one of the biggest fucking companies that guy freaking started up and
Boring.
operates?
Boring, digging tunnels.
Boring. You got it.
And
What's
like,
that for?
the missing children, even. Like, think of the orphan trains. We have this theory of the orphan trains back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, where all these new cities across America are being built, but there's no people to populate them. However, these orphan trains are coming in full of kids. We don't know where their parents were, where they came from, where they were going, but we have giant asylums where the crazies and the orphans would go, and they were all funded and built and ran by the Oddfellows and the Freemasons. And these children, as they were raised to be Oddfellows and Freemasons if they showed promise. And those are the people that ran and built the world, like the U.S., not the world, but our country. Like that's how our country was founded, with these orphans that were brainwashed by fraternal societies. So what do you think is going to happen again? They're taking kids, they're brainwashing them. They've got a new world agenda that they need to fill out. And how are they going to do it? But with these kids that they've already like filled with their plans and their machinations.
Yep.
You're going to come to the surface and see it done.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential when it comes to this idea of parallel slash pseudo breakaway civilization, because it's not technically a breakaway civilization. Breakaway civilization would be like, a chunk of us just decided to take off and go build our own. This is a deliberate plot to generate like a different civilization, a parallel society, and then have it on a collision course with the over society,
Right.
with the overarching, with the land dwellers, with the surface dwellers. I think there's a lot of merit to it personally. We will have to see. We will have to see how this unfolds. There is no doubt going to be much, much more unfolding in the coming weeks, days, hours even. But most certainly over the next few years. We're on the path for 2030, Agenda 2030. We are right on point with that for the plan. So read up. You got to get your studying in. Got to crack open a Bible, maybe.
And if you don't want to, hit that fucking subscribe button. And every Saturday, we're reading the Bible. We're doing it every Saturday now. So you can just listen, get a little bit of side tangent when we find something cool that we want to go off on.
Heck yeah. and get the word. Get the word in you.
But yeah, don't let this stuff get to you. Don't fear, because honestly, over the last several years, that shit has just been getting crazier and crazier. Like, has your day-to-day life really changed that much? And
not really.
I know it sounds like conceited to say like, oh, well, it's not affecting me. But like throughout all of time, there's been atrocities happening all over the planet. And like, yeah, certain areas go through times of peace. And we are lucky enough and blessed enough to be living in one of those peaceful time places, one of those peaceful space times. But you know, it very well could be coming our way, but also I'm not too worried about it, because as much shit has happened over the last few years, my life hasn't really changed all that much. And yeah, I want to see things done for the people that have been affected, but I have faith in the Lord that things will be done in His will, to His plan. And that gives me pure joy in the face of this evil.
Pure joy.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Hit that bell, follow, like, subscribe.
Stay guarded.
Deuces.
Bye.